वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज का वीडियो कैपिटल गेन सीरीज का 25th नंबर का वीडियो है। इन दिस वीडियो वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट कैपिटल गेन ऑन ट्रांसफर ऑफ लॉन्ग टर्म रेजिडेंशियल प्रॉपर्टी not to be charged under certain cases as per section 54G। ये वीडियो की शुरुआत करने से पहले मैं आप सभी से अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि आप इस वीडियो के अंत तक बना रहें, जिससे कि आपको कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन या जानकारी प्राप्त हो सके। तो चलिए हम इस वीडियो की शुरुआत करते हैं। The brief provisions and silent feature of section 54GB regarding availability of exemption or deduction on capital gain arises on transfer of long-term residential property are as follows. SSE may be individual or HOF. Capital asset to be long-term residential property being a house or plot of land. Capital gain to arise from transfer of the said residential property. Time limit for acquiring the new assets. SSE before the due date of furnishing of return of income under section 139(1) utilizes the net consideration for subscription in equity shares of an eligible company. B. The company has within 1 year from the date of subscriptions in equity shares by the SSE utilized this amount for purchase of new assets. Treatment of income tax on capital arising during the previous year on transfer of capital assets being residential property are as follows. If the amount of net consideration is greater than the cost of new asset, then capital gains which bears to the whole of the capital gains the same proportion as the cost of new assets bear to the net consideration shall not be charged under section 45 as income of the previous year. B. If the amount of net consideration is less than or equal to the cost of new asset, capital gain shall not be charged under section 45. Exemption or deduction amount. Exemption amount is lower of capital gain or cost of new asset. Deposit of net consideration in capital gain account. The amount of the net consideration received by company for issue of shares to the SSE to the extent it is not utilized by the company for purchase of new assets before due date of furnishing of return of income by the SSE under section 139 subsection 1 shall be deposited by the company before due date in accounts open and maintained in any nationalized bank or institution before due date of filing of income tax return and return to be accompanied with the proof of such deposit. The capital gains so deposited together with the amount already utilized by the SSE for the purchase of new assets shall be deemed to be the cost of new assets. Non-utilization of deposited amount, withdrawal of exemption or deduction. In case deposited amount is not wholly or fully utilized for the new assets within a specified time period from the date of transfer of original asset, then amount by which the amount of capital gains arising from the transfer of residential property not charged under section 45 on the basis of the cost of new asset as provided in this section and exceed the amount that would not have been so charged had the amount actually utilized for the purchase of new assets within a specified period have been the cost of the new assets shall be charged under section 45 as income of the SSE for the previous year in which the period of 1 year from the date of subscription in equity share by the assessee expire. The company shall be entitled to withdraw such amount in accordance with the provisions of the scheme. Transfer of equity shares of company or newly acquired asset. In case equity share of the company or new assets acquired by the company is sold or otherwise transferred within a period of 5 years from the date of their acquisition, the amount of capital gain arising from the transfer of residential property not charged under Section 45 shall be deemed to be income of the assessee of the previous year in which such equity shares or new assets are sold or otherwise transferred, in addition to taxability of the gains arising on account of transfer of shares or new assets in the hand of the assessee or the company as the case may be. In case of new assets being computer or computer software being acquired by an eligible startup, the word 3 years is to be substituted for the word 5 years. The provision of this section shall not apply to any transfer of residential property made after 31st day of March 2017. However, the provisions of this section shall apply in case of an investment in eligible startup and the figures, letters and the word 31st day of March 22 is substituted for the figures, letters or word 31st March 2017. Eligible company. Eligible company means a company which fulfills the following conditions. It is incorporated in India during the period from 1st day of April of the previous year relevant to the assessment year in which the capital gains arise to the due date of furnishing of the return of income under Section 139 subsection 1 by the assessee. It is engaged in the business of manufacture of an article or things or in an eligible business. It is a company in which the assessee has more than 25% share capital or more than 25% voting rights after the subscriptions in share by the assessee, and it is a company which qualifies to be a small or medium enterprise under Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Act 2006 or is an eligible startup. Eligible startup and eligible business, this shall have the meaning assigned to them in explanation under Section 80 IAC subsection 4. New assets means new plant and machinery but does not include any machinery or plant which before its installation by the assessee was used either within or outside India by any other person. Any machinery or plant installed in any office premises or any residential accommodation including accommodation in nature of the guest house, any office appliances including computer or computer software, any vehicle or any machinery or plant, the whole of the actual cost of which is allowed as deduction, whether by way of depreciation or otherwise, in computing income eligible under the head profit and gains of business or profession of any previous year. However, in case of eligible startup being technology driven startup as certified by Interministerial Board of Certification notified by central government, the new assets shall include computer और कंप्यूटर सॉफ्टवेयर। ये वीडियो अब मैं यहीं समाप्त करता हूँ। ये वीडियो अगर आपको अच्छी लगी हो तो इसको लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।